Oh, shrimp head. Shrimp head. Mmm. Delicioso.
Welcome back to the bodega. We got more fun at a discount than a pack of Butter Crunch cookies. I am PAB, Doug Chef, Matty C. Today we're going to try to talk about the hip hop, rock, metal, I guess team ups, mixes, whatever throughout the years. I mean, there's been some significant ones that obviously broke through the mainstream. There's been a lot of dabbling to the point that now you even got super groups nowadays. So in discussing it, there's always been a connection between them. You know what I'm saying? Like there's always been a connection, I guess, in the energy of it. The rebellious energy of it is the term I'm looking for. Between rap, hip hop and rock, or at least you know what I mean early on. What happened, bro? Uh-oh. Oh, we got a guest. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Now we're a panel.
Oh, now it's on.
Now
All
it's
right.
a panel, son.
What's going? All right.
Hey.
So,
What up,
for
fam?
y'all
What
don't
up, sir?
know, let me introduce the man behind the camera. All right. The silence behind the violence. We'll just call him G. All right, he wants to sit in. This is a topic near and dear to his heart.
I say we're finally talking about something I know about.
Hip hop, rock, metal, rap. You know,
Really,
the
all the shit we've been talking about? This is you kidding me? Did you just come to this country? Welcome to America.
Hey, I grew up in the burbs.
Yeah, whatever. Show me your Zamunda money. Great.
But I say the man got his own money.
I mean, the man's got his own money. All right, so now breaking it down for anybody who wants to contribute, where would you say is the best reflection, earliest reflection of this, the meeting of the worlds, where it really started putting it on the map?
Well, I think we can all agree it was Walk This Way.
Yes.
Run DMC and Aerosmith.
Grew up in the South Bronx. Never heard of Aerosmith until 1985, 86.
Damn.
Walk This Way.
Yeah, the break. A lot of people, even Run DMC said the same shit. It was the break. They were used to the break. They never listened to the
it
lyrics
benefited both of them.
until they never got to the lyrics until they had to cut the song. That's what they said. I guess in numerous documentaries, that's what they said. And then even then, I don't think they wanted to do it.
Well, I don't think it was their hesitation.
It was their hesitation, but it was Rick Rubin who was like pushing it forward.
Okay.
That's to my understanding of it. That's what I'm saying. That's what I heard. So, and then I know that helped Aerosmith because the word is also that
No, that saved Aerosmith.
Oh, shit.
It didn't just help Aerosmith. That
Saved.
saved
with
Aerosmith.
a big D at the
Emphasis
end.
on
And yeah, I
saved.
mean, Steven Tyler even said it. I mean, the band, they were big, they had their hits, and just typical rock star problems, drugs,
Nobody was
whatever.
in the 80s.
And yeah, like they were disappearing. They were nearly gone. Run DMC, that song saved that band.
Because I've heard interviews with DMC when he said for them it boosted, saved out, boosted them.
Yeah, it's
Started putting the light on.
Which is crazy too, because I know like you said, we all agree that Aerosmith "Walk This Way" was the track that is probably most looked at as the ultimate mashup of rap and rock. All right, but I would also argue Run DMC was also using a lot. I mean, that album right there on the shelf, King of Rock, uses a hard as hell, almost rock tempo.
Rock Box.
Rock Box.
Rock Box is another one.
Yeah.
And then one of my favorite tracks, Beastie Boys, was No Sleep Till Brooklyn.
Yep.
And which, by the way, both bands, members, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yes, sir.
Run DMC and Beastie Boys were both inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Based on what you guys were just talking about. Like even without Walk This Way, a lot of their music was rock infused.
Yeah.
So now,
Yeah, to be honest, like Run DMC, like in the 80s, just only the first times I really heard guitar on hip hop tracks.
Yeah,
Basically,
true.
Run DMC.
That's Rubin. That's Rick
I
Rubin.
mean, Raising Hell was the first audio cassette I ever bought.
Audio cassettes, kids. Audio little cassettes. You all
They
seen it like in Guardians. You know what? Guardians of the Galaxy, the Star Lord had, all right?
That thing.
Yeah. So now we fast forward to the 80s. Rap starts taking a more street gritty, it focuses more on drums. It starts sampling more Parliament, Funkadelic, and James Brown. It gets away more from the rock stuff, and then we get into the 90s where it starts coming back a little bit. And so trying to move the conversation forward, open to anybody, what would you say during the 90s is the ones that start clicking?
Well, before we get quite there, there's this band, I'm sure it's like me and two other people that have heard of this band called The Hardcore, and they were actually produced by Jam Master Jay. They had two rappers and then, live band, drums, DJ. And again, this was before it became mainstream. So you had this band that, they were doing this. They have a cover of Back in Black, by the way, in case anybody listens to
Look that up, kids.
besides
Look
me.
that up.
I like AC/DC.
So there you go. There.
Goes about to rock.
Yeah.
We felt it.
But yeah, Jam Master Jay produced this band, and like nobody ever heard of them. And then fast forward a couple of years, and then there's other bands that are doing the same formula. Limp Bizkit, among others.
That's the one that popped into me.
And and they're treating them like, oh, we've never heard this before, and I'm like, no, like. This happened a while ago.
Yeah, like the Kardashians invented braids. Yeah.
Wasn't going there, but true.
Yeah, Bo Derek, I love you, girl. I'm just saying.
So
you got it.
But yeah, I mean, getting into the '90s. Sorry to hijack the conversation. Like I said, Limp Bizkit, they came out and
that's the new, but that was categorized as the new metal. That's what they called it. They called it new metal.
Yeah, blah blah blah.
Limp Bizkit was definitely late '90s.
But you mentioned Public Enemy.
Public Enemy
with
Bring the Noise, Anthrax. Yeah, because that bring the noise.
And then you also mentioned
Judgment Night
earlier.
soundtrack. Everybody was buying that. It wasn't the one. I mean, I was still in high school when that came out, but it wasn't like just the brothers were buying it or the metalheads. Like everybody was buying.
Well, there was also that, and there was the Slam. There was also the Slam.
Body Count.
Onyx.
Okay, well, hold on. Yeah, that's a couple of
two
different
things here right now.
Okay, so yes, Onyx and Biohazard. They actually toured for a little while as Bionics.
What?
So
that's right. I forgot. Wow, that's
they had the Slam remix.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of that stuff just gets swept under the rug.
There's a remix. There's a video.
Yeah.
There's a Slam video featuring Biohazard and Onyx. They did a video for that remix.
Right. The other thing I was going to say was the Judgment Night soundtrack. I wasn't going for Ice-T and Body Count.
Body Count.
Yes, excellent. But before Body Count, Ice-T, in some interview, it just came up. He was a huge Slayer fan. And that's led into him singing with Slayer on the Judgment Night soundtrack and then rolled into Body Count. But yeah, like, here, Ice-T, original gangster, huge Slayer fan.
Who knew?
But no, there was a lot. It's funny too because there's a lot of rap heads. If you read enough interviews, and nowadays it seems like nobody cares anymore. But back in the day, this was pretty predominant. Yeah. A lot of rap. There was a lot of predominant rappers that were into rock and metal just because of the nature and because of the sound, because it's angry and hard. And I mean, it's not stuff that was getting played on the radio, or at least not like that. Like I know Method Man at one point. I read interviews with Method Man that he was a fan of Nine Inch Nails. I've come across a couple of cats. There's never been no secret, even to this day. DMC himself is a big rock guy, which now he does rock. He still makes new music as a rock artist. So there's always been that, and there's always a bunch of musicians, even now to this day. Prophets of Rage.
Yep.
Prophets of Rage, which for anybody who doesn't know, Prophets of Rage, and you can correct me, is
Public Enemy. So Chuck D.
Be Real from Cypress Hill.
And Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine.
Yep. And they're super cool.
As of the taping, their new album's coming out in September. In case anybody's listening.
What else? There's another group also, Street Sweeper. Oh, God, what the hell's the name of the group? It was another Tom Morello band. They did a couple of kick-ass covers with, do you remember this old rap group during the 90s, The Coop.
The Coop?
The Coop, the lead rapper was a dude with a big fro, man. I think he's from the West Coast. Called The Coop. And they, God, I'm going to get to this. Something Sound Sweepers or something. Yeah, man.
I got nothing.
Oh, I gotta put everybody on. I'll find it. I will find it.
So I gotta go, but one last thing for you guys to discuss real quick. We mentioned the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame before. I am big fan of Run DMC getting in. I'm a big fan of Grandmaster Flash and Furious 5 being in.
Tupac just got
Beastie
in.
Boys. See, that's kind of where I draw the line, though.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I mean, NWA got in last year.
Well, it's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but it's like, what's rock and roll these days? I mean, it's just Elvis and freaking, you know, Chuck Berry.
It's,
You know,
the
but that's-
conversation
That's
is,
not even characterized.
if you
as
take the
rock music.
original definition of rock and roll, you have Chuck Berry. If you have Little Richard,
Right.
If you go by the 70s, you have Zeppelin, you have Hendrix. You go by the 80s, that's where gets sketchy because that's when the sub genres start coming up.
Maybe if there's like an all music hall of, you know, I mean,
So,
it's-
yeah, that's the thing. Like after a while, I don't know. Like,
but it's not like they're just letting anybody in. I mean, it's
They're trying to keep it predominant people that have moved the needle. You know what I
Right.
mean? That have definitely moved the needle. But yeah, I mean, I know what you mean. Where you got somebody like Pac, who probably exhibits the best example of pure rock and roll energy and vibe in its rebellious nature.
That's what
That
Ice
exists.
Cube
But
said.
musically, though, it's not rock and roll.
That's what Ice Cube said to defend NWA getting in, is that, you know, the
Yeah.
spirit of the group was rock and roll, which, okay, fine, yes. The spirit of the group is rock and roll, rebellion, yeah. But I don't know, that one I can't really get behind.
yeah,
I'm with
kinda,
you.
Yeah.
I thought that was off.
Well, speaking of God MCs, I just want to say personally, all about the Benjamins remix by Rob Zombie. That's my favorite. I just want to make that point right now. And it has a video for it too.
Okay.
Where they shut down the prom. I'm just saying.
We took your point. We put it over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
You, my friend, are an ass.
That's all right. I got business cards to say.
All right, you know what? I think that's fair enough assumption. We're going to take a little break, and I'm going to try to go over there and pick up my pride since he wants to put it over there.
Yeah, with the rest of the line.
Thank you, G. We'll be back in a minute.
Do you find your kids annoying on long road trips?
Why are you polluting this dang earth with this stupid car that run on freaking gasoline? Haven't you seen what Irma did? Haven't you seen what Harvey did? Gas mad expensive now too.
Do you find your aggravation and frustration reaching the levels that you finally have enough to start reaching behind the seat and trying to smack on one so that they will shut the hell up, forcing you to drive erratic and irresponsibly? Well, don't you think that we have something for you to help? We do. The chancleta stick with extending stick. So now instead of reaching and stressing, easily extend and pop that kid right in the head with a cocotazo, allowing you to focus on having a safe drive.
Thank you, Chancleta Stick.
Bye, Bodega.
All right, we are back. We're talking about rock rap with our surprise sit-in, our producer, director guy, G. So now we're going to go to a music review with our boy Deuce. Deuce, where the heck are you? Don't wander into things.
Don't touch me.
Oh, wait. Oh, whatever. I see blurriness. I can see shapes.
He's a weird fuck.
Like this is a ball.
So is this.
Would you just throw it in the ball?
Yeah.
Shit.
All
Just
right,
follow
so-
the light source.
So what do you got?
What do you got?
What do you got for Maddie today?
G suggested a song I play. I don't know what it is, but he just told me to play it.
All right, well, since we're barely paying you and he's the boss, get to it, homeboy. We'll see what G brings to the table, man. This should be
Hopefully his shit's better than your shit.
that was what we just learned. That is Prophets of Rage doing Shut 'Em Down, the PE song, Prophets of Rage, as you heard earlier in the episode. Supergroup, Tom Morello, Be Real from Cypress Hill, Chuck D from Public Enemy. I liked it, but this is a Matty C review.
I like it. I'm on board. It's good shit.
So, what are you giving it, brother?
I'm giving them. I like it. Be Real is from our era. Chuck D. Yeah.
How many Hakeems?
It's getting Hakeems. I'm just thinking how many. I'm going 10. We're going 10 Hakeems. I like it.
Merry New Year!
I like it. I'll bump that shit up.
Merry New Year!
Hot summer day.
In the face.
For once on a music review.
Face.
On a music review, I am very happy to be here for once.
Yes!
Yes! In the face!
Yes! In the face!
Yes!
All right!
Thank you, Deuce. And Guy, for putting this kid on to something.
Yes! We got nothing but Hakeems in the face. With that, we will leave till next show. Thank you. Yes! Yes!
Take us to Queens at once.
Check our link on Instagram at Back to the Bodega. Back to the Bodega.
And yo, go to the page, subscribe. We got mad old videos. Check them all out. They're there.